So what is going on, guys? It's your girl Lauren back with another video. As you may or may not have noticed, that there is something currently missing on my face. But what? That's right, you guessed it. Today we are doing a brow tutorial. Over the years, me and my brows have been through a lot together. We've been through good times and bad times and everything in between. My brows are not my favorite feature, but I've definitely figured out how to make them fit my face. I know we've had so many different brow trends throughout the years, but it definitely seems like overall as a makeup community, we're kind of coming to a place where everyone wants everything to be like a lot more natural. So I'm gonna show you guys how I do my brows to look as natural as possible. So today I'm gonna be using my favorite girl, my Anastasia Beverly Hills brow definer in the color Granite. This is the darkest color, I believe. This one isn't a deep dark black. This one is like a very soft black. I always like to go for something pretty dark because I have dark features. So I feel like this is like the best color to like balance my look. So I always start by using the spoolie brush on the end to brush all of the hairs upwards, because I want to be able to see this bottom line of my brows as clearly as possible. So I always start by creating like hair-like brush strokes towards the front of the brow. I love that like 90s supermodel bushy brow look. I don't have brows like that naturally, unfortunately, but I kind of try to pretend that I do and kind of try to create that. So I fill it in lightly because if you do too much, it'll be like really obvious that you just filled it in, but just enough. And then once I've kind of like filled in, and then once I've filled in that area, I move on to drawing a little tail. So I'm starting in the center of the brow, not at the front. I'm starting it like halfway through the center of the brow, and then pulling that out all the way to the end. And here you can be a little bit more heavy-handed. And you can see I have some hairs that are like growing down here, but I don't like to bring it all the way down because if I cover all of the hairs, I'm gonna have like this really thick, blocky brow, and I don't wanna see that. Okay, so once I have that bottom line, I go ahead and start even further towards the middle. So here, so on the bottom, I started like almost at the midway point between this first part of the brow. The back, I'm really starting even further back because I don't want to see harsh lines right here. This is where I want everything to look really natural. I draw the top line and create an arch. And honestly, I like to make up a little bit of hair. There's no hair here, so I just create a line anyways. And then the rest of the brow, I just fill it in with like those same hair-like brush strokes. Okay, so now I have that done. Obviously, it actually does kind of look like a Nike check at the moment, but I'm just gonna brush that through so that it looks more natural with the spoolie brush. This is your friend, okay? And you really wanna be like a little bit more light-handed when you do this. You don't wanna use so much pressure that you're wiping away all of the work that you just did. And there you go. So really quick, I'm just gonna do the other brow. So now that I've got that done, I'm just gonna go back, and you can definitely see that there's like, my brows are there, but they're a little bit messy, so we're gonna clean them up just to kind of give them that like freshly waxed look. So I'm going to use my favorite, my Kylie concealer in the shade Buttermilk, and I'm just gonna take that, I'm just gonna take a little bit and put it on the back of my hand because I don't want to use too much product. If you use too much concealer to do this step, the concealer, there's gonna be a streakiness to it that's gonna look really unnatural. And I'm not a big fan of that. I like all the lines to look a little bit more natural, so I always limit the amount of product that I use. Now, as far as brushes, I like to use a rounded flat brush. I really wish that I knew what brand this was. I think I've washed this so many times that I washed off the brand name somehow. But yeah, this is just a flat concealer brush. You can see it's pretty pointed. So I'm gonna take that little bit of concealer on my hand. I'm gonna pick up such a small amount of product. Because when it comes to cleaning up the brows, I always believe less is more. I always start with the end and cleaning out that shape first. I always work super slow and keep my hand really steady on my face. Just start from the inside, work your way out. I just usually will go over that line again and again until I think it's perfect. So that's good. Now I'll go more towards the inside. I can hear my little Pomeranian snoring under the bed. It's so cute. She always sleeps down there. I don't know why. She prefers to sleep under the bed. I think it's like a safe place for her. Okay. So now that I did that, I can kind of see that there's some like blending errors that need to be worked out. So I like to clean off a little bit of that product and just like wipe it off on my arm. I'll clean it off later. And then come back in with the brush a little bit cleaner and just kind of blend. And I have a mirror right here that's like closer so I can see, but I also am sitting in front of my vanity and I'm also can see myself from further away. Sometimes when it comes to makeup, it's good to have a close-up, but you definitely want to see yourself, your entire face as well in front of you so you can see balance. You can definitely see that this brow is sitting a little bit higher than I usually like it to, but that's an easy fix. So now I'm going to do the top of the brow. I like to use even less product when I'm doing that. So it's just arching a little bit higher than I like to see it. So I'm just going to kind of cut over that. And I don't like to see super rounded lines up here. I like this to be a little bit sharper. So I do it all kind of upwards, diagonally first. And then from that top corner, I bring it straight down. And then I often like to use my fingers to kind of help blend. Doing your brows is by far, I think, the most time consuming part of your makeup. Unless you're doing more of like a complicated eyeshadow look. Everything else can go really quickly, but there's anything that involves fine detailing like this always takes time. So I understand why some people, when they see these kinds of brow tutorials, they're like, girl, I ain't got that kind of time in the morning. And to be honest, I don't know how I make time in the morning. I think I'm just so used to doing it that it's just kind of a part of my life. So now that I've got that done, I'm gonna take, this is the clear brow gel by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I love brow gel. I love redefining the brows after you fill them in and just bringing out those hairs again. And this is really, I think, an important step in getting a natural brow look. And then I take that even further and I take like an older mascara that has like not a ton of product in it, but like a little bit. And I actually like to go over these brows again and really bring them out. definitely makes them look a lot thicker than they really are. Okay, and now that that's done, sometimes I notice that these center hairs, by the time we do all that work, kind of disappear. So I like to go in with my brow pencil and just fill those in again. Sometimes when I'm feeling a little spicy, I like to add like a little bit of a brow bone highlight. So I'm going to be using this Sonia Kashuk bronzer illuminator. This is one of my favorite makeup items. It's so pretty. Like, look at that. That is beautiful. So I'm going to be using my fan brush and lightly getting into it and just do a little sweep. All right, and that is the look. So thank you so much for watching this video. Oh yeah, and please subscribe to my channel, my little newborn baby channel. So thank you so much for watching again, and I will see you guys next time.